Let's get started in a seat. So you can take Sukhasana on your mat. You can use a pillow or blocks under the seat if you want. You don't have to, but once you do get into a comfortable seat, you'll rest your hands down on your lap. And then before we get even focusing on the breath and deepening the breath, just natural breathing. So kind of notice what's happening there with your natural rhythm. Sometimes in the morning, I find for myself, it's a little bit more shallow and I pause a lot more. So you might notice those kinds of things as well. And again, try not to change it yet, but just observe how your natural breath is upon waking. Let the body be in naturalness too. So even though we are sitting upright, hands resting on the lap, let your body just kind of release into that shape. So instead of perfecting the posture, just feel how your body is in naturalness when you sit in Sukhasana. And then with that, start to notice areas that you might be holding a little bit more tension. And if you get very concentrated, very focused, you'll start to notice even subtleties of that. So it might be like, ooh, it's my right jaw specifically, or it's my left hand wanting to grip, or anything the case may be. See if you can notice subtleties about any areas of the body that you might be gripping or holding a little bit more tension. It might not be congruent with the other side. Good. And then as you relax your shoulders, do start to release if any of those places resonated with you. If you noticed any places holding tension, start to soften and release that intentionally. And then we'll set here in the beginning of class an intention for the rest of our time together. So it could be definitely a goal that you want to accomplish, but I personally like to set more of a feeling or attitude intention. So whatever resonates with you, but have that in mind. It could be a way that you want to feel as you move throughout all of the postures. Good. And then if you can make some kind of statement, I am statement out of whatever you've chosen as your intention, go ahead and set that and say it silently to yourself a couple of times. So for example, if you want to be more sharp with focus, you could say, I have sharp focus. I am sharply focused. If it was bringing a sense of peacefulness to your practice, it could be, I am peaceful. So as you move, you remember that mantra for yourself. So one word with that intention, turn it into a statement that you can silently repeat a couple of times. Good. Notice if there's a desire to fidget and see if you can not ignore it, but notice it, let the feeling be there if it is the case, and then just kind of drop in a little bit deeper into the posture. So instead of moving or fidgeting, anything that's unnecessary, of course, if you need to fix the posture at all to be more comfortable, do it. If there's pain in the posture, especially, do it. But notice any unnecessary movements. And I am practicing that myself, cutting out any unnecessary movements. We'll be here for just a couple of more moments in our meditative seat. So as you sit here, start to bring the depth of breathing. Inhaling, starting to inflate all the way down towards the low belly, into your rib cage, into your upper back and the front of the chest, sides of the chest, right under the armpits. And then as you exhale, deflating the belly, drawing back, maybe even firming up the core muscles a little bit. Good. We'll do 2 more breaths here, very slow breaths through the nose. Inhale, fill up the abdomen, low back. And then up into the rib cage, up into the upper back, chest. And then a slow exhale. See if you can release the belly back. So firming up the abdominal muscles while keeping the chest, the upper back and sides of the body kind of big and open. So we filled up that space, and then we're just firming up the abdominals. We'll do one more breath like that. So inhale, let the belly inflate. See if you can get the ribs and chest even a little bit more inflated, even though we try to keep that inflation. Fill all the way up to the top. And then try to keep the chest big, the upper back big as you exhale, and you shrink the belly button back towards the spine. So you're firming up Uddiyana Bandha, really that whole 360 of the torso. And then a few rounds of breath, just natural on your own, but trying to keep the depth. Inhaling and exhaling, really filling up to capacity. Maybe even putting a slight pause at the top of the inhale and then a slow exhale back to empty. Nice. And then go ahead and flutter open the eyes if they are closed. We're going to inhale to reach the arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers and press the palms up towards your ceiling. So really extend up through the hands, up through the insides of the fingers, the palms. Good. Take your eyes up towards your thumbs. And then it's going to be like a seated cat pose. Start to slide the palms forward and round the back. So you're hollowing out the front side of the body as you push the palms towards the front of your space. Good. And then inhale like you're sliding the palms up the wall and then the ceiling. Start to arch the back like a seated cow pose. Tilt your tailbone back behind you. So even hollowing the low back. Take one more inhale there as you stretch the front side of the body. And then as you exhale, seated cat pose again. Slide the palms down, round the back. Push forward through the palms. Curl the tailbone under. Two more. Big inhale, slide the palms up, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine. Slide the palms forward, push forward through the palms. Switch the interlace of the fingers this time. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest. Tilt the tailbone down. And then exhale, hollow the front side of the body as you take your seated cat pose. Good. And then back up to a regular seated position. We'll inhale both arms up again. This time, drop your left hand down to the mat and reach over to the right. So you get this nice side bend. Good. Stay there for an inhale, lengthen. And then stay there for the exhale and deepen. Go a little bit further into the side bend. Beautiful. Big inhale, reach the arms back up to center. Nice. And then exhale, right hand down. Left hand reaches up, up, up and over. Good. Stay for the inhale. Really inflate the right side of the body. Notice the contraction in the left side of the body. Stay for the exhale. Contract a little bit more on the left side. Lengthen a little bit more on the right. Good. And then inhale back up to center. Both arms reach. And exhale, we'll move to tabletop position. So go ahead and come all the way to all fours. When you get to tabletop, shift forward and back a little bit. So you're rocking the hands, or you're rocking the shoulders in front of the hands, and then hips back behind the knees. So a few forward and back rocks. As you take your tabletop position, get really long in the low back, engaged in the low abdomen. Get lifted up out of the joints. So as you push against the floor, you can rise up and create a little more space in your shoulder joints. And then if you're not already, put weight in the shins, even if they don't touch the floor, push weight down into the shins, tops of the feet, so that you're taking some of the pressure out of the knees and you can create a little bit more space in the hips. Good. Now start to take it in a circle. So instead of rocking forward and back, it's almost like you're using the thigh bone to stir in the knees, and you're using the lower arm bones to stir the wrists. And then after you circle a few times in one direction, go the opposite direction. Good. And then come back to a tabletop position. Send only the right foot back behind you. You're going to straighten out the right leg and start to rock forward and back on the ball of that foot. So you're stretching out the calf, stretching out the ankle. Nice. And then pause from there. We're going to lift the right foot, stretch the left arm forward, finding your spinal balance, draw the core in. So firming up abdominal muscles, lifting Uddiyana Bandha. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, touch your knee and your elbow below you, round your back like cat pose. And then inhale, send the arm and leg back out. Breathe in deep. As you exhale, tap. This is 2 of 3, so move nice and slow. And then big inhale, reach out, full stretch. Exhale, tap it in. We're going to inhale back to extension. So right leg back, left arm forward. And then release it back down, tabletop position. Fan out the fingers wide, push down against the floor, lift out of the shoulders. So think of the same strength in the arms that you prep for a chaturanga with. Find that now in tabletop. And then stretch the left leg back. Nice and slow, start to rock forward and back on the ball of the left foot. Stretching out the left calf, the ankle, Achilles. Notice any subtle sensations here as well. So you might notice the stretch in the hamstrings. You might notice it in the low back. You might notice it in the sole of your feet, the bottom of the heel. Good, and then come to stillness. Lift the left heel up, reach the right arm forward. Pause there for a deep inhale. Firm up the abdominals as you exhale. Stay for another inhale. And on this exhale, we'll tap. So left knee, right elbow touch. Inhale, send it back. On the exhale, crunch it in, tap knee, elbow. And then inhale, send it out long. And then last time touch, knee and elbow. And then inhale, send it out, pause. And release, right hand down, left knee down. Again, stay in tabletop position, lift up out of the joints. Push the shins and tops of the feet down. A lot of subtleties can happen in the poses that we think of. It's very simple. So I love pausing in Tadasana Pose sometimes. And I've taken in my own practice to starting to pause in tabletop too and find the subtleties, the lift, the press, the strength, the grace. Good. From your tabletop position, tuck your toes under, prep for down dog. You're going to start to peel the knees up and back, lifting into downward facing dog. And then from there, pedal out the feet, bending one knee, bending the other knee. Let it feel very nice in the backs of the legs. So if that means bending both knees a little bit, that's great. If it means stretching both legs straight for a little bit, that's good too. And then find some release. I'm going to come down for a moment just to take my jacket off, but find some release in the neck. So you might shake the head yes and no. You might flutter the lips to release the jaw. You could also shake, I guess I already said that. You can shake the head yes and no. You move the neck, find some release there. Let the head hang heavy, heavy, heavy. Good. Now separate your feet as wide as the mat and start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into a wider foot forward fold at the back of your space. When you get there, grab opposite elbows. Hang the head heavy once again. So you're looking back between the calves. Start to sway left and right. Good, and then come back to center. Release the fingerprints, only the fingerprints down to the floor. And you're gonna walk them forward enough that the legs can be extended and the arms can be extended. Little bend in the knees. So fingerprints are on the mat, palms are tented up off the mat. Start to drop the hips down so that they're level with the knees. You're in this crouch position. Look between your big toes so the neck is long. And then as you inhale, straighten out the legs and drop it into a fold, but it's almost like an awkward short down dog fold on your fingerprints. We're going to do that a few times. So if it didn't stick the first one, it will stick the next few. You're going to bend the knees, exhale, thigh bones parallel to the floor. And then inhale, straighten the knees and lift the hips. Stretch the hips back. Bend the knees, drop the hips level with the knees. Look between the index fingers. And then look between the toes as you straighten the legs and lift the hips. One more time, bend the knees, drop the hips level with the knees. Look at the fingers. And then exhale, look at the toes. Lift the hips high. Good. And then drop that all together. You're going to start to bend the knees around the back and roll to stand. So vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae will come up to that Tadasana pose. When you get up to Tadasana, walk your feet in to touch. Prep yourself for some half suns. Yes, excellent pace. So feel that length up through the neck, through the spine. And then once you get the feet together, take an inhale to reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, come back down to your forward fold. We'll slide the hands up the shins, so lengthen the spine forward. Look down at the mat so the neck is long. And then as you exhale, bend from the hips, go back into forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up, touch the palms. As you exhale, thumbs to heart center. Let's do two more. Big inhale, reach the arms up, look up. As you exhale, forward fold. We'll take a halfway lift on the inhale, stretch the spine forward, and then exhale, stretch the spine down towards the ground. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up, look up. And then exhale, thumbs come down to heart center. Last time through, I'll just cue the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to rise. And then exhale to close. Good. Walk the feet out wide again. This time as wide as your mat, and turn the toes out. And we'll bend the knees, come down into a malasana squat. It's an early malasana, so if you want to rest the elbows on the thighs, that's good. Yep, you're good. All the way down inside of the knees is also. So thumbs will try to get all the way to the center of the chest. If you can touch your thumb knuckles to the sternum bone, get it all the way in. And then use the thumbs to lift the chest high. Take an inhale. Plant the palms and lift the hips as you exhale. So you're coming back into a forward fold. We're going to walk the hands out to a down dog. So walking all the way to the top of the mat with only the hands. Look at your toes. Bend the knees. Now shift the gaze to your hands and either step, walk, or hop to the hands. Forward fold at the top of your mat. When you get to that forward fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up. And then exhale, thumbs down to heart center. We'll do a couple of rounds of sun C. So as you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, forward fold. We'll lead with the right leg first. So stepping the right foot to the back of the mat, lower the right knee down, untuck the toes, and then lift the chest. Fingertips stay in line with the left foot. You're getting long from your right knee all the way to the shoulder. Stay for another inhale. Move to down dog on your exhale. From downward facing dog, shift forward into high plank. Breathe in deep. And then as you exhale, knees come down to the ground. Pause there for a moment. Take an inhale as you cross the ankles. And then as you exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Bend the elbows, slide the chest through the triceps. Take the tops of the feet to the mat and then inhale to low cobra. Make sure shins are pushing downward. Exhale back to a down dog. You can tuck the toes, rise through either a tabletop or a child's pose maybe. Come into downward facing. From downward facing dog, deep inhale through the nose. And we'll stay put with the exhale. Step just the right foot between the palms. Couple hops if you need it, and then you'll set the left knee down. Good. Stay there, take an inhale, lift the chest up off the right thigh. Lengthen forward, so all the way from the tailbone through the neck. You get lots of length. Now tuck your left toes under, lift the knee, and we'll step into forward fold at the top of the mat. When you get into forward fold, right away, rise to stand. Breathe in. And then back down to forward fold as you exhale all the way down. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Same lunge that we just did. Drop the left knee, untuck the toes, inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Pike the hips. Shift forward into high plank. Breathe in as you come forward into that position. And then exhale, drop the knees. Cross the ankles. Pause. Take an inhale. Lower down on the exhale. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Take the back bend. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Tucking the toes. We'll lift up nice and high. Now stay on the inhale. Press the heels down on the exhale. Good. Bend the knees. Look at your thumbs as you exhale. Nope. I'm sorry. Left foot steps forward. I was going to have you hop. Only the left foot steps forward. Right knee down. Inhale. Lift the chest off the thigh. And then exhale to forward fold. Top of the mat. Inhale, rise. Reach the arms up. And this time as you exhale, thumbs to heart center, closing that full round. Nice for Karuna. Take a big inhale. Reach the arms up. As you exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. This time we'll take the knee down and rise up with the arms. So you're going to take your biceps up to frame the head. We'll pause here in this lifted version of low lunge for a couple of moments. So continue to breathe deep through the nose. And then re-invite your mantra that you started class with. So whatever intention you set for yourself, we created an I am statement. Repeat that a couple of times here just as a reminder of how you're moving, what you're moving for. Good. Stay for one more inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Plant the palms, step it back. Stay in down dog for a breath cycle. Inhale fully through the nose. And then nose or mouth release that breath. Right foot steps forward. Lower the back knee and rise up to the low lunge on the opposite side. So now you're sinking both hips forward with the left foot back. Do keep in mind, you've probably been continuing to pay attention to this, but check the left toes. Make sure they're not sickling to the right. You're keeping the whole top of the left foot planted down. All 5 toenails will try to get down on the floor. The pinky toe will be the culprit there of mischief. The pinky toenail won't want to get down. Take one more breath in. Forward fold on your exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up. As you exhale, right back down to forward fold, all the way over the legs. Step the left foot back. So same lunge we just did, left knee down, arms rise up, breathe in. This time right away, step to down dog on the exhale. Stay in down dog for your in breath, and then stay in down dog for the out breath. Left foot steps forward, start to breathe in as you step it forward and lower the knee. Keep breathing in as you rise up to lunge. Exhale out, forward fold. When you get to fold, inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up high. Look up at your thumbs. Thumbs to heart center as you breathe out, completing that full round. We'll do one more and we'll add on a little bit to it. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. This time, knee stays lifted. Rise up to your high crescent lunge. So biceps come up to frame the head. Left knee bends deep to stack over the left ankle. Right hip will probably have to draw forward just a little bit because it wants to move back sometimes, opening the hips to the right. We're going to square the hips to the front. Take one more inhale. Downward facing dog on your exhale, stepping all the way back for a breath cycle. Inhale through the nose. Stay there with the exhale. We will reintroduce our Chaturanga. So as you inhale, shift forward to high plank, pause. Stay where you're at with the upper body, but lower the knees and breathe out. Good, breathe in and cross your ankles. Push down with the hands. And then exhale, bend the elbows and lower the body all the way to the floor. Inhale, take your low cobra or up dog, whatever back bend you prefer here. And then exhale to your downward facing dog. All the way up and back. Pause in down dog again, deep inhale through the nose. Stay there with the exhale, draw the navel in. Right foot steps forward as you breathe in. Keep the left knee up, rise up to your high crescent lunge. Biceps come up to frame the head. Go through whatever checklist you need here, but a good one is knee bends deep, stack it over the hip, or stack it over the knee. Right hip draws back, left hip forward. Hips square the front of the mat. And then once I get the hips square, if I can squeeze the left quad a little more and straighten out that left knee, I find more length in the back leg. Take an inhale. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Exhale. As you inhale, rise to stand. Reach your arms up high. Higher, 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 and then exhale back down to forward fold, all the way over the legs. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Rise up to the high lunge. One breath in takes you up. When you get to the top, exhale and release it back down to downward facing dog. Right foot back. Good. Stay there in down dog. Take an inhale. And then stay there for the exhale as well. Press down through your heels. Now inhale, heels start to peel off the floor as you shift forward, high plank. Stay with the upper body, but lower the knees and breathe out. Inhale, cross the ankles. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower down. Inhale to cobra, baby back bend. Exhale to downward facing dog, tuck the toes and rise up and back. When you get to down dog again, stay for the inhale, fill up. And then stay for the exhale and empty completely. Step your left foot between the palms. Rise up to high lunge. Breathe in as you come up. And then exhale to descend and move forward. Fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach the arms up high. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Pause there for a moment. I'm going to turn to face you just to the Tadasana together. So as you stamp down through left and right foot equally, even the weight left to right, or laterally on the body. Now also pay attention to where the weight is front and back. So if there's more weight in the heels, shift a little bit to the balls of the feet and toes. If there's more weight in the front of the foot, shift some to the back so that you have more of an even distribution of weight on all areas of both feet. And then as you root down through your feet, can you rise up a little bit more through the spine, up through the top of the skull? And then as you rise up and you have a very alert posture, can you find places to soften as well? So maybe the shoulders can release a little bit. Maybe the jaw can release. We will add in a balance right here. So you're going to shift your weight to your right foot. If you do want to move to a wall for tree pose, you can move to a wall. So once you find even footing wherever you're landing at, pause there for a moment. And then start to shift weight into the right foot. You're going to feel the weight go into not only the heel, not only the ball of the foot, but inner outer arch of that right foot. Shift it to your right foot, front and back, so toes and heel. And then start to peel the left heel off the floor, just the heel for a moment. Feel how it might change the bearing of weight on the right foot. And then you're going to peel the toes off the ground, start to place the foot inside of the leg. Before you use the hands, do tree pose without the hands to begin. I want you to be very keen with attention on the right foot for now. So very, very thoughtful, very aware of the sole of your right foot. Good. And it will be lots of shifts of movement. We're never in complete stillness. So you will feel movement. It might be large waves of movement at some points. It might be smaller, subtle shifts of movement at some point, but really getting keen on that right foot. And then if you want to go a little bit higher, you can reach down and grab the ankle, move the leg up higher. Not necessary. Sometimes it can be a nicer opening for the hips if you lift the foot higher. But if it throws off your ability to be able to find the balance on the right foot or focus on the balance of the right foot, lower is better for today. So find that balance once again. Now you're locking the left foot into the right leg, and you're locking the right leg into the left foot. So that little point of contact or pretty large area, surface area, is creating more stability. So you have the stability from the right foot, of course, or the left foot, of course. The foot that's on the floor has lots of grounding down. But then that lock of contact between leg and foot is also making your left foot still part of your foundation. Rise up from that point. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then drop the chin just a little bit. So we talk about Uddiyana Bandha in my class often, but there's also Jaladhara Bandha at the neck. So you can drop the chin just slightly, creating a little bit of a seal, like the collarbones and the chin are holding a ball. So there's some stability there. And then with that, the back of the neck can get a little bit longer. So you have more grace up through the back of the neck, a little bit of composure or stability from collarbones to jaw. Good. A couple more breaths in your tree. So if you want to move the hands to a different position, you can find a different position with the arms, with the hands. And before we lower that foot, you're going to turn the left knee forward and then start to kick it back into a warrior three or supported warrior three. So making a capital T with the body, hands can land under the shoulders, right knee can bend a little bit, but it doesn't have to if you want to keep the right knee straight and reach down for blocks, or even keep the hands at heart center. Find the balance there. Nice work. Try to get that left heel up level with the right hip. I'm sorry, your lifted leg, try to get it up level with the hip. And then go ahead and bend the flying leg, set it down next to the standing leg, release the head down. Bend the knees round the back and roll up to stand. Vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae. We'll come up to our Tadasana pose. Good. And then once you get up to Tadasana pose, push down through both feet. Start to shift the weight into the left foot. Before you lift the entire right foot off the ground, just peel the heel off the floor. See how it might affect the weight on the left foot. And then go ahead and, without the hands first, place the right foot inside of the left thigh or calf or ankle. Find the balance there. So as you push down with your left foot, you can find a little bit more grace and elegance up through the spine, even up through the leg, up through the neck. And then if you want to move the leg higher, you can reach down and grab the ankle. Good. And then find the focus. Nice. Holding there, notice again, get very, very aware of the sole of your left foot, your standing leg. And wherever you tend to put weight naturally when you stand on both feet is where the weight will want to go when you're on this foot. So especially when we take tree pose or any single-legged pose, the weight tends to want to go to the outside, but it might be the inside of the foot. Whatever the case may be, see if you can start to find a little bit more equilibrium, front to back, side to side. Yes, so nice. Breath stays deep. Good. Now turn your right knee forward and start to push it back into your warrior three. Almost like you're going to put your footprint on the wall behind you. Hands can support you here. So if you want to lower the hands, take them down right under the shoulders. Lengthen the neck. So it requires that Jaladhara Bandha again, or the throat block. You're dropping the chin in just slightly, not to tuck the chin and crumple the bottom of the neck, but to elongate the back of the neck and find a little bit of stability in the front side. Good. Stay for one more inhale. Bring the right foot down next to the left foot on your exhale. On your inhale, take a halfway lift. And on your exhale, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. We'll do a little bit more core work here as we hold plank. So when you're in your plank pose, you always have the option to lower the knees. If you want to take the knees down at any point, do. We're going to hold the plank. Good. Stay for a deep inhale. And then either hold on your exhale or, without moving the hips, take your right hand, touch the left shoulder. Good. Release the right hand down and we'll trade sides. Left hand taps the right shoulder. Release it down, hold plank. Right knee taps the right elbow. Send it back. Left knee taps the left elbow. Send it back. We'll do that full thing 2 more times. So right hand, left shoulder. Set it down. Left hand, right shoulder. Set it down. Right knee, right tricep. Bring it back. Left knee, left tricep. Bring it back. One more time. Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand, right shoulder. Right knee, right tricep. Send it back. Left knee, left tricep. Send it back. Hold your plank for 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay on the 1. And then slowly set the knees down and go all the way to a child's pose. Sending the hips back towards the heels. Stretch out the back. Drop the forehead down to the ground. Feel a release in the jaw, the face of the skin of the face. Oh my goodness. Good. Good. Deep breaths into the full back side of the body. So you can imagine the back ribs puffing out with the expansion of the lungs. You might even be able to feel that expansion and spread of the back ribs. Good. We'll press the palms down, rise back up to a tabletop, and start to walk the knees forward so that you can come to a seat on your mat. And then once you get into a seat at the top of the mat, go ahead and lie all the way down on the back for a little bit of core work here as well. We're going to reintroduce the crow crunches. So one of my favorites, I like the crow crunches because it really does get the feeling of how we want to engage the front side when we do crow. Sweet. Yes, perfect. We will get back up, but we're not going to do any more high standing poses. We'll do a little bit of arm balance poses. So perfect where you're at. You're going to come into the position of crow on the back. So palms go up to the ceiling. In crow, we look between the index fingers. So find that space with your gaze. If you need to peek at the camera at any point, of course do, but always go back to that drishti, eyes between your fingers. Now press up, almost like you're trying to lift books with the hands up towards the ceiling. So you're balancing those books, imaginary books, and you're pressing them towards the ceiling. Now the knees are bent and the heels are close to the butt. You're going to lift your low back off the ground and tap the knees to the triceps. And then release the low back down towards the floor. So again, curl your low back off the ground, tap knees to triceps, and then release it down. If the neck feels strained, set the back of your head down. So it can be a full crunch with the head and shoulders lifted, but most importantly, it's like a lower body crunch. You're bringing low back off the floor, you're tapping knees to triceps, you're feeling your whole low and mid abdominal muscles pull the knees in. So from the low abdomen, from the mid abdomen, knees pull in towards the arms. Keep going through a few more rounds of that on your own to get that feeling, that lift from the lower body, from the core. Lift of the lower body from the core, I should say. So navel draws down towards the floor, knees tap, and then release it back. Good. And I'm going to add in a few rounds of side to side just for the fun of it. So you're going to tap left knee to right tricep, bring it back to center, and then right knee to left tricep, like a side crow. Try not to move the arms. It's only the legs and hips that are doing the movement, low back doing the movement. So left knee, right tricep, arms stay in position, and then right knee, left tricep. Give it one more on each side. You got it. Yes. And then bring it back to center. Take your hands behind your head. Send both feet straight up to the ceiling. Point and flex your toes. Good. And then bend the knees. Start to rock and roll forward and back. We're going to rock up to a forward fold. So take your time getting there, but eventually do make your way all the way up to a forward fold, top of your space. When you get into your forward fold, walk your feet out as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out, prepping for crow, prepping for a squat first. You're going to drop the hips down. Bring the elbows to the insides of the thighs, thumbs to heart center. Take a deep inhale to lift your chest up just a little bit higher. Draw the shoulder blades together so you get that strength in the upper back. Nice. Yes. So strong upper back, shoulder blades draw in towards the upper spine, causing the chest to spread open on the front side. A couple more breaths in Malasana. Deep inhale, let the abdomen inflate, let the hips inflate. And then strong exhale, draw navel back, navel up. Go ahead and place your hands on the floor, lift the hips for a forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. You can shake the head, yes, no, if that feels good. And then we'll go in once more. Feet walk out as wide as the mat. Bend the knees, drop down into Malasana. This time, prepping for crow, you're going to fan your fingers out wide, place them down on the floor. And then lift the hips up, walk the feet in just a little bit so that they're parallel to each other and behind the wrist, almost like your hands. Left hand, left foot are on a ski together. Right hand, right foot are on a ski together. Start to shift your weight into the balls of the feet, and you're just going to tap knees to triceps. And that will be our crow prep for today. So you're going to set the heels down, and then you're going to lift the heels, tap knees to triceps, just like our crunches that we did a moment ago. So you'll drop the heels down, and then lift the heels up, tap knees to triceps. Set the heels down. Let's do 3 more. So knees come up, heels come up, knees tap. And then knees leave the triceps, heels placed back down on the floor. 2 more. Lift the heels, tap the triceps. Release knees, release heels. Lift heels, tap triceps, last one. And then release the triceps. Take the heels down. Drop into a brief Malasana squat, so hips lower down. This time, walk the fingers out as far forward as you can and drop the chin down. Stretch the back side of the body, upper back, back of the neck. Good, and then lift the hips up, come into a forward fold. We'll do one more chance at crow in case you want to take it, so you can place the hands down flat once again. This time as you lift your heels off the ground and you tap knees to triceps, try out the one-legged crow. So you'll lift one heel in towards the glute. I'm going to observe. Yes, so up into that crouch position. Yes, hold it. 3, 2, 1, release it. And then other side, when you're ready, take the break and then come back to that position when you're ready. Good, knees to triceps, lift the left heel towards the glute. All right, do you want to come back to that one, or are you finished with crow for today? Finished with crow? This is our last hurrah, so just that left heel to the glute. You held so strong and steady on the other side. Yes, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, set it down on the 1. Nice work. Yes. It's been a while since we've done crow, I know. I'm glad you're getting back into it though. I'm glad you were up for getting back into it. We're going to extend the legs out in front. And then from there, just sit up nice and tall for a moment. Legs extend forward, spine extends upright. This is Dandasana or staff pose. You're going to place the hands down by the sides, press the palms down, almost like you could lift the butt off the floor with the hands pushing, but it won't happen. But push in that kind of manner. Hands press. The hips might get a little bit more light on the mat. Legs stretch forward, spine extends upright. Good. Try to keep that length in your spine as you release the hands, reach the arms up. Breathe in. Keep the length in the spine as you fold forward, and when you get to a place where you can no longer keep the spine straight, then start to round. All the way forward over the legs. Good. And then release the grip of the feet. We will come all the way down to the back now, so you can scoot the bum forward, roll down, vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae. Prep yourself for a supine twist. So you're going to take the hands out to a T position, palms down, and then reverse tabletop with the legs. We'll drop the knees over to the right side of the mat, coming into that twist. If you want to make it deeper, right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Breathe very deep into the low back. So imagine there's a balloon at the low back that you can inflate with each inhale. Yes, bring it back to center. We'll trade sides. So now you might scoot the hips a little bit to the right, lower the knees to the left. And then to make it deeper, left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Good. Move yourself back to center, lifting the knees back to the middle, hips back to the middle, and then hug into a tight little cannonball shape, curling nose up towards the knees and towards the chest. We'll make it a happy baby pose so you can lower the head and shoulders back down. Take your elbows to the insides of the knees, grab the outsides of the feet as you lift the feet up, and then pull down on the feet. You want to rock a little bit side to side. You can find that motion left to right. And then ending with a hip opener, we're going to place the soles of the feet together, come into supine cobbler's pose. So outside edges of the feet land on the floor, soles of the feet remain together as you release the knees open like a book. Take a big inhale to fill up. Imagine you can fill up all the way down through the low abdomen, all the way down through inner thighs, calves, to the soles of the feet. And then as you breathe out, feel the density of the body, releasing knees down, hips down, shoulders, back of head down. And then again, inhale, fill up, let the whole abdomen expand. Imagine you could send breath even down into the legs, down to the feet. As you exhale, let the density, the heaviness of the bones release completely to the support of the floor. Good. Take your hands to the backs of the thighs or outsides of the thighs. Scoop up the legs with the hands and then pull them back into the chest, legs back into the chest. And then you can release the soles of the feet down to the ground, slide the legs out long into a final resting pose, Shavasana. We'll bring the arms down by the sides for this Shavasana, backs of the hands on the floor. And as you rest the full weight of your body, allow any last tension that you might be able to find to release and dissipate. Any last focus on the breath. We'll end right on time today, so I won't take you over. I know sometimes I accidentally do, but we are right on track today. So go ahead and take a few moments to really settle into this Shavasana pose, to release any control of the breathing. Let it come, let it go naturally. We'll rest here in corpse pose for a couple of moments and I'll bring you out in just a few. Without moving the physical body intentionally, come back to the sensation of breathing. So feel the breath moving in through the nose, down the esophagus, down into the lungs, expanding the lowest lobes of the lungs. And then get very intimate with the exhale, the breath leaving the lungs, traveling back up through the esophagus, out through the nose, and into the environment around you. So that air doesn't leave, it just starts to become part of the space, the atmosphere directly around you. And then inhale, noticing that you're pulling in air from the space around you up into the body through the nose, the throat, the chest, invigorating the body, bringing life to the cells, energy. Continue a few rounds of breath on your own, deepening, filling, releasing. And then return to the intention that you set in the beginning of class. So you could return to that full thought or your I am statement repeated a couple of times. Remember why it is you're practicing and what it is you're moving forward into with intention, with conscious thought to action. Take a deep inhale to reach your arms overhead, big stretch up from your hips to fingers. And then as you exhale, place the hands down over the heart. It could be thumbs to heart center. It could be palm over palm right on top of the chest. Take a moment here at the end of your practice to turn gratitude in towards yourself for having taken this time, for showing up so consistently, for really truly putting in the time to get conscious about movement, to get conscious about breath. It's always a joy and honor to have you in class. I'm so glad that I got to have you here today and be able to do yoga together to start the day. I hope you have a great rest of your day, Aruna. Namaste.